All right, hello everyone. Welcome to this end of the quarter edition of the Running Club podcast episode. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Daniel, I'm president of Running Club with my co-host, vice president Thomas Kawase.
Yeah.
Today we have a special guest, Thomas's friend, longtime friend. I heard he's from the Marines, right?
Yeah, he's in the Marines
Marines
now.
right now. Aaron, welcome on the show.
How's it going? Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to start, how's the Marines going?
It's not bad, man. It's definitely a different lifestyle. Usually up like 5:30 every morning. We usually work out for about an hour, and then get done around like 6:30, and then I change, shower, whatever, and I'm at work at 8. And I usually work till about 5 o'clock. So, but it's the cool thing is a big part of this lifestyle is staying in shape, PT. So. And I think, cross country stuff's going to set me up for success, So
You had a huge lead going in with the running.
absolutely,
right?
yeah, sure.
Now I heard in the Marines, you guys take very quick showers. Is that true? Very, very quick.
Yeah, and like boot camp and stuff you do. So sometimes boot camp you're on a very tight, schedule. You got a lot of stuff to do in like amount of time. So boot camp they have like two big we call them shower rooms. It's like terminology, and it's just a big like shower room with like 6 shower heads on each side of the wall.
Yeah.
And what they would do sometimes, because we PT every morning in boot camp, everyone would get undressed stuff, and you kind of make like a chain, like a line, and they would turn all the shower heads on, and then you'd walk in there with your soap, walk under all the shower heads, and as you're walking, you're putting soap on stuff.
It's like a car wash. It's like a car wash, right?
Car wash.
Damn.
But
a minute, right? It's about a minute, is what I heard.
Yeah. So
cold too, right? Is it cold?
Oh yeah, especially because I went during January, so there was only like one water faucet that was warm. So you walk through like room temperature, like tap water, cold or low. So.
Oh man, I'm so sorry, but wow, that's crazy. So can you walk me through that process? Like 10 weeks, I was gonna get recruited after high school for the Marines, so they kind of told me a little bit about the process. So how was your process, like your 10-week process?
Yeah, for sure, man. So so obviously it first starts. You talk to a recruiter. You take the ASVAB. The minimum score is like a 32. The highest is 99. So basically the way it works with that is each like job or MOS, military occupational specialty, has an ASVAB score you need to have in order to get to that. And obviously the higher you score, the more opportunities you have as well. So you go there, you take the test. Depending on your score, then you look at your options, what you kind of want to look at. And then from there, the recruiter obviously makes sure you're not disqualified, no asthma, stuff like that. Then you kind of get that going. You have to go to
what happened with your asthma thing? Because I remember in high school you had asthma, right?
Yeah. So so with that, I just outgrew it, man. I never had symptoms of it. I think cross country definitely had a play in that. There's also some stuff you kind of gotta not say, kind of get in a little bit.
For sure.
A big part of that kind of leading to what I was saying was you go to MEPS. It's a military entrance processing station. They have one at each major city for all 50 states. And it's for all branches. So you have like your paperwork with all your documents, like I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I have no health issues. And basically you go there, you get like a big, like thorough physical. You take a urine test. They're basically saying if you have any like mental or like physical disabilities, I would disqualify you. That's a big part of it because obviously their goal at MEPS is to save the government money. So if you're going to military with like, let's say you got knee problems, as soon as you're in, you're going to be having to go to the medical a lot to get medical, and you're going to be charging the government money. So their goal ultimately is to disqualify as many people as they can,
Yeah.
So obviously you go through there the first time. Once you're all cleared and you're good, you swear in the first time, and then that's when you figure out your ship out date to go to boot camp. If you live west of the if you live west of Mississippi, you go to San Diego, and if you live east of the Mississippi River, you go to Parris Island. All female recruits also go to Parris Island. So so you figure out your date. Obviously, you figure out your job that you're going to select. You fill out a little bit more paperwork, and then the week before you ship out, you go back for one more like quick physical, make sure you're good. you swear in, and then that week comes by, and then you go to MEPS. You get there around the morning. You just do a little quick brief. They kind of brief you like, hey, make sure you don't do drugs, don't smoke, or blah blah.
Mhm.
For us, because the Los Angeles MEPS, it's in El Segundo. It's right by LAX.
Yeah.
So I went there for the morning. We did our little thing, and then afternoon, because we're so close to San Diego, we just took a bus down there. But guys from, like Texas or Oregon or wherever, they usually fly to San Diego Airport. So there's a thing called USO. It's kind of like a big like lobby where everyone meets up. You fly in or drive in. The bus drops us off there, and you're basically waiting there until the white buses pull up, the drill instructors, and dude, it's scary, man. Like you pull up there, you're just sitting ducks. You know, you're like, oh man, what am I doing? You know, you're second guessing your decision. You know, like as soon as I got off the bus and I was waiting, I was like, man, dude, I regret doing this. You know, I'm too scared.
Fuck.
You know, and then
Welcome to the Marine Corps.
yeah, you know, the drill instructors, man, like I'm not kidding you, like it's exactly how you know it looks, and like
Dang.
you see on like YouTube and whatever,
Yell
like,
in your face.
streaming and all that. So like they just come out, they're like, get on the ball, blah blah. So you all line up, you're all scared because you never experienced that. They put you in buses. I think there's like 3 buses, but depending on how many people are there, they make a few trips. So
Now, sorry. So you said you were scared at the moment once you arrived, right? How did how did you overcome that? When did you get like used to like their intimidation, their drill sergeant? You know, like because they're not allowed to touch you, right? But they're allowed, like they yell at you and stuff.
There's a lot of like gray area, you know, like there's stuff like they're not supposed to curse a certain amount. They're not supposed to like touch you and stuff. I mean, it kind of happens either way, you know. You can't like be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at one point, man, like the first few weeks in boot camp, you're just kind of adjusting to it. You know, you're up at like 4:30 every morning.
Yeah.
Every other night, you have a thing called fire watch. We have a shift, 1 hour a night between when we go to bed at 8 o'clock at night to 4:30 a.m. Where you kind of like walk around, make sure stuff's good, or you gotta like do laundry or stuff. So I'd say after like the first like month or so, you're there because it's 13 weeks boot camp. It's the longest basic military training in the military. You kind of just adjust to it, you know. Like you kind of see, all right, if I do this, he's gonna get mad at me. If I do this, I won't. I'll be kind of good. So you kind of gotta. It just takes time, man. You know, but so whenever you get to the buses, like even on the ride there, it's a short bus ride because MCRD San Diego Marine Corps Recruit Depot is right next to San Diego Airport, and the whole time they're having you look down so you can't look out the window and stuff. And as soon as you pull up, they're like, look up, and a drill instructor comes up. It's like, eyeballs, look at me. It's like, you're not part of Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego building, whatever, blah blah.
Yeah.
And then they yell, and then you get off the bus, and you got those like little footprints, you know.
Damn.
But it's fast, man. It's like you go from just like quiet, everyone's looking down, to people are screaming in your face. I remember when we were getting off the bus, there's a curb, and I was running, and the guy behind me, he tripped on the curb, and he fell kind of hard. I was like, oh shit. And one of the drill instructors he's like, no one cares, get up, go go go.
Damn.
Get up, yeah.
It's kind of like a reality check right there. I was like, wow. So the first go ahead, you're good.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, like, so what was your biggest takeaway from that? Like what's your key takeaways from that? Like, what'd you learn? Is it discipline? Was it like, what is it?
A lot of it is like self-discipline, you know, like responsibility. Like, you know, like I was saying, that fire watch, you have every other night. You have an hour shift with anywhere from the middle of the night to 2 a.m. whatever, where you have to do your task. And you know, the way you could look at it is, well, I gotta do this laundry or whatever, but I could just have the next shift do it. But if I leave it for him, then he has more stuff to do, you know. So everyone kind of has their own role to do. Discipline for sure, you know. Having like respect too for elders. I mean, you kind of learn that right off the bat. Even like as a kid, you learn that, but you kind of learn that a little more, like respecting your elders. But I say the biggest one is discipline, you know. So
I feel like you're gonna need that in the Marines, or else you get yelled at or some shit, or you get in trouble.
So.
And you got like a whole crew you have to like be a team with.
Absolutely, you know, that's a big thing too. Whenever until your last 2 weeks when you're officially a Marine, you have to talk in third person the entire time you're there. So you can't say like I, me, or whatever. So if you ask a question, you have to like. So there's a little like duty shack where the drill instructors are. Like they stay like during the night and stuff. And like throughout the day for like doing a task, like most of the time they're like with you like not 24/7, but there's little periods of time like 30 minutes, 40 minutes throughout the day where like we have our rifles and we're like breaking down, cleaning them. And obviously, they don't need to be right there, so they'll be in their duty hut. But if you got to ask a question, you got to like slam on the door a few times and be like, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. This recruit requests knowledge," or something like that. And be like, "What do you want?" Like, this recruit reports he needs to use the bathroom or whatever,
Dang.
So like that's the right off the bat you learn to not talk in third person because you get screamed at for stuff like that. So
Wow.
or like
Did you
touching your
lose?
face and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Did you lose your voice or anything like that
oh yeah,
throughout the process?
I lost it, man.
Oh,
Because
man.
especially the first month, because um until right before I went, it used to be broken up into 3 phases. Each phase was a month, and each phase kind of enters a new period where you're learning more like training or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was the first cycle that had four phases. So each phase was a little shorter, but you're learning more stuff. So the first phase or so, first month, you're getting yelled at the most because you're just adjusting. Every time you have to say something back or respond back or ask a question, they want you to scream it.
Fuck.
The idea
Oh,
is,
man.
if you're in combat or something like that, and like you got like artillery shells going off or something like that, you got to be able to yell loud enough that they can hear over that. So you definitely get like a frog voice.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. The drill
Frog
instructor
voice.
get it a lot too. If you
Yeah,
look up like videos,
yeah.
you hear them go like yeah, It's
Yeah,
like
they do.
frog
Yeah.
voice. So.
Dang.
Yeah. Wow. So out of that 10-week process, like 10-week process, towards the end, they
13,
graduate. A 13-week process. Sorry.
yeah.
Like those last 2 weeks, you're talking third person, and then you have graduation, right? So what do you do right now? So with the Marine Corps,
Right.
because I
Yeah.
know you
So
have 2 options, right?
yeah. So I got a little carried away on like the other part, but so obviously you finish boot camp. You have 10 days of leave where you can go home, kind of relax, whatever. At the end of that 10 days, you come back to Camp Pendleton over by Oceanside.
Yeah.
And that's where it kind of breaks off. If you're infantry, you go to infantry training battalion where it's all infantry stuff. You got mortar guys, riflemen, whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone else, like myself, goes to SOI Marine Combat Training, which is just a 1 month. It's like a short version of the infantry training battalion stuff. But because theoretically the idea is every Marine's a rifleman, so you're learning more like field training stuff. So that's about a month in Pendleton. We do a lot of hiking in the hills. You spend a week or so out of the field. You have gear. We're eating MREs a lot. It's pretty nasty. So you're basically learning how to kind of live out in the field. You're doing more like military stuff that you see in movies. We get to go to a couple ranges. We do a night shoot with like their NVGs. We do a range with the machine guns, which is pretty cool. So then at the end of that, after that month, that's when you get your orders to your school for the job you signed up for. That's where you go. You got your buddies going all over the country. So for me, I'm a motor transport mechanic, motor team mechanic. Yeah. So I work on like the trucks or the Humvees and stuff. Yeah. So my schoolhouse is out here in Camp Johnson, North Carolina, which is where I'm stationed too. Okay. But you got other jobs too. Some guys, their school is at a different military base. So like some guys went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, which is an Army base. Some guys went to Pensacola, Florida, which is a Navy base. So depending how long your school is, you learn your school or your job. And then once you're done completing that, you get your orders to your actual unit. And that's when you go and actually do your job. And then you finish out the rest of your contract there. So
you're just doing your job right now?
Yeah. So, and obviously once you get to your unit, it's a lot more relaxed. It's basically, you're kind of back to normal a little bit. Obviously you're still doing your job and you got training or like go to the field every now and then. But like on the weekend right now, I could go out in town and get food or something like that. So
That's true.
Now I have another question. So like it seems
Sure.
like after that, like the boot camp, like you get to travel around like
Right.
in the United States, like you get stationed somewhere, right? So my
Mhm.
friend, like my colleague, he was a captain.
Okay.
He was in the Marines for I think 8 or 9 years, a captain.
Wow.
In,
Pretty
in,
cool.
in Japan, he was stationed in Japan, but he said you traveled to 25 different countries.
Yeah.
So what typically is that program? Because like it seems like you're part of the mechanics, and then you said you
Right.
station different. Yeah, is there like a program where like you travel around the world as well?
So a lot of it just comes down to your unit.
Oh,
Typically, infantry units are the ones that deploy the most. You can get stationed in Japan, Hawaii,
Yeah.
Camp Pendleton, or out here North Carolina.
Yeah.
So depending on it, really just depends on your unit. Your unit is the one that okay, we need to go do here, go where. Your job kind of has a plane to it too. Obviously, an infantry guy or artillery guy is gonna get deployed more than a guy who just goes on the computer because you can do that wherever.
Yeah.
So a lot of it comes down to, like I said, just like your job. Obviously, sometimes your units will have openings where you can request to deploy with them. So like, I know especially like Japan and I think like Camp Pendleton, they have like rotations where they'll go to like Philippines, Thailand. I have a buddy went to Korea, Japan, Australia, Guam, Palau,
Wow.
and then somebody. It just depends. Or
lit.
you can, or you can go to like my one buddy went to. It was more like a old school deployment. He went to Iraq, Syria, Iran, and
see.
Kuwait, I think.
Damn.
So
Different
But
deployment. Go ahead.
So-
Finish off.
All right, to just like pivot and just switch the topic a bit.
Yeah.
Talk about running. Like
Yeah.
running definitely like helped you with like the initial part of the whole process.
Oh yeah,
in the Marines.
absolutely.
And,
I
like,
100%.
for the viewers, like me and Aaron did our first marathon together. We did the LA marathon.
Yep, I remember that.
Like that shit was so lit. Like, do you think you would ever do a marathon again?
Yeah, most definitely. I do want to get into it. Obviously, I gained a little bit of weight. I was like 130 when I ran that marathon. Now I'm like 155, 160.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely do want to do it. I think I'd rather do it more out there though, because the humidity out here is pretty bad.
Oh yeah, it's thick.
So, but that's
But-
something I look forward to.
You're probably like definitely like the only person who's done a marathon in the Marines, right? Or like.
Oh yeah, most of these guys just play like football or whatever like that, and they join. So a lot of guys don't like running out here. Actually, I like it. Kind of opens my mind. Kind of lets me like chill out. So.
That's true.
But,
All right, I think ready to move on to the final kick.
Yeah. My actually final question about your career. So you want to do like mechanical, like you're mechanic, right? So what do you
Right.
want to do after the Marines? Like, let's say when you retire from the Marines, like what do you want to do in as a career?
yeah, so I got a couple options, which is the thing I like.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about potentially, making it a career with mechanics. A lot of the training I learned, I can tear down and rebuild an engine, and I didn't go to school, and now I can do that, just hands-on, so something like that. I could also either go to school with a GI Bill. I wouldn't have to be in debt or nothing like that, and I can learn, like getting my degree or something like that. There's a lot of guys actually in my shop that are pursuing their degrees right now too. So, but I think more like a mechanics thing is what I'm leaning towards. So
very, very cool. Yeah, cars and stuff. Like you can do a lot now. Yeah.
Right. So.
All right, time to move on to the final kick. It's gonna be 10 speed round questions, and just try to answer them as fast as you can. All right, the first one is Lakers or Clippers?
Clippers, man. I got my shirt.
Hey.
You can't see my shirt. I got my shirt on.
Hey, Lakers gonna win it again though.
All
right, water or Gatorade?
I like water.
Water. Hot or
Refreshing.
cold?
Hot.
Marathon or 5K?
Good marathon, man.
Lit.
Marathon.
Yeah. Converse or Vans?
Vans. Love my
Alright,
Vans.
for sure. You got any questions real quick?
Water or Gatorade?
I already asked that one.
Oh, you already did.
Disney or Pokemon?
What's that?
Disney or Pokemon?
Disney. I don't really know too much about Pokemon.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Go Chick-fil-A, man.
Yeah. I mean, I started working at Popeyes now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but Chick-fil-A is the move.
Apple or Android? Or are
Apple,
we done?
man.
Apple, yeah, for sure.
I like the California flag.
Gotta represent, man.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, this is the last question. What's your favorite breakfast?
Breakfast. So Taco Bell breakfast burrito.
Taco
Mm.
Bell
No.
breakfast burrito.
Bacon,
for sure.
great bacon breakfast crunch wrap.
All right, nice.
I love that. I love that. Now we usually end it with a quote. Do you have actually like advice for our viewers who want to be in the military, like a quote
Or
that you live
Marines.
by?
Yeah.
Something like
I will say, man, you know, like definitely stick with running. You know, it
Mm.
definitely puts you ahead of your peers.
Yeah.
A lot, especially you know, obviously the physical part. You know, you can handle running for a while, but also like mentally, man. I feel like running got me a lot more mentally strong to deal with like pain and stuff like that than some of my other guys would struggle after running like half a mile. You know, so I would definitely say, you know, if you're considering military, you know, definitely, you know, keep on running, keep your physical shape going. But I mean, go for it, man. You know, you
That's
never
awesome.
know. You never know until you try it. You know.
That's
course.
facts.
Yeah.
All right, and you're coming back in Torrance in like December or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to come home the 15th to January 5th. It'll be about a year since I've been home. So.
Oh wow.
Damn.
See,
All right,
that's
for
amazing,
sure.
yeah.
I'll see you then, man.
Yeah, but thanks for inviting
Yeah.
me, man. I
Yeah,
know I
thanks
kind
for
of
coming on.
I went off topic a little bit.
No, you're good.
As
You're
far as
good.
like running stuff, but I appreciate it.
I want to say thank you so much for being on the show, and especially thank you so much for your service for our country. You know, like
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
your sacrifice, and you're very brave,
Yeah.
and you're disciplined, and I gotta admit, you are our hero, man. So really
I
appreciate
appreciate it.
Thank
So
you.
I don't consider myself a hero, but I appreciate it. Thanks
Yeah,
for the
thanks,
support.
Aaron.
Hello, Running Club at UC Riverside fans. Daniel Yang here, president of Running Club. If you like that video that you just watched, smash that like button down below. If you'd like to see more podcast episodes and creative content, remember to hit that subscribe button right here. Thank you so much for watching.